number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, welcome back. It's the Morning Crossfire 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's usually open mic Friday, but because of the recent incident that we had regarding CNG-powered vehicles, we thought it wise yesterday to reach out to the presidential initiative on CNG, that's a PCNG, the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, and to the chief executive of the organization to come on the program and tell us what Nigerians should know, especially with safety concerns regarding CNG-powered vehicles. And you have any question regarding CNG-powered vehicles and the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, PCNGI, please feel free to call the numbers we usually advertise, 0201 277 0993 and 0201 465 7190. All right, 0201 277 0993. And of course, we have a female line, 0201 465 7190. Now, for those of you who have not heard, there was some sort of tragedy in Edo State, in Benin City, the capital of Edo State, on Thursday, yesterday morning. The video, was shared on social media, and it went viral. When a vehicle that was powered by compressed natural gas (CNG) exploded at a filling station. Now we're told that this filling station belongs to NIPCO. NIPCO is one of the agencies that the federal government, I believe, is working with, where you can go get your CNG. Some of our drivers here in Lagos State have been doing that as well. So there's a NIPCO filling station on Aduwawa along the Benin Auchi Expressway, and that was where this happened. If you looked at the video, you see that the back of the car had been blown away and entirely, and we had at least three persons were injured in that incident. It's left people asking, is the CNG vehicles safe? We know that President Bola Tinubu has, his administration has really touted the CNG as a solution to the Nigerian economy following the removal of subsidy on petrol. So that's a big focus of this administration. But some Nigerians are asking, with all this we're hearing of explosion, are we sure we're not making a mistake? I'd like to introduce our guest on the program this morning. Some of you already sent me messages because you know him. He is the Program Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative. He is, this is a program, rather, in the Office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is designed to bring relief to Nigerians by developing the use of compressed natural gas and other auto gas and clean energy sources as alternative to PMS, that's premium motor spirit, or what you and I call petrol and diesel, following the removal of the subsidy on petrol. Now, prior to his appointment, he was co-founder and executive partner at Lofty Inc. Allied Partners Limited, operator of the Innovation Hub, and Lofty Inc. Capital Management, and he was executive chairman at Vetmans Resources Limited, a diversified holding company. He also served on the governing board of the Rural Electrification Agency of Nigeria, to which he was appointed in January 2022 by the then President Muhammadu Buhari until June 2023. He also serves as chairman of the Essential Services SWG of the Nigerian Content Consultative Forum, amongst others. I'd like to also say that he is a summa cum laude graduate of electrical and electronics engineering at the Prairie View A&M University in Texas. So that's he's an academic of no mean repute, where he earned a master's degree in electrical engineering and with specialization in power and control system. We're going to leave it at that. His CV is quite long, but I would like to say good morning to Michael Oluwagbemi, PE, PMP, MBA, MNSE. All right. Good morning to you, Michael. It's good to have you on the program. Engineer?
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. You're a power guy, but you're in gas. Why are you in gas, and what excites you most about the role you occupy now?
Very good morning to all your listeners, and thank you for having me. First, I want to use the opportunity to commiserate with the injured who were unfortunate victims of unscrupulous elements that decided to mishandle an hydrocarbon in Benin City on Tuesday. Based on information we have, about 3 people were injured, and all 3 of them are now safely discharged from the hospital. Only 2 of them were seriously injured, but they are fully recovering now after initial treatment. And we just want to say that we are grateful that there were no fatalities, and that this points out to what we've always been saying. While compressed natural gas is intrinsically safer hydrocarbon than petrol or diesel, it is still hydrocarbon. And it's very important that any type of hydrocarbon is properly handled. Even hydro, which is water ordinarily, cannot be mishandled.
Okay. So we'll get to that point.
We commiserate with those people.
Thank you very much.
Now, in terms of my background, I'm an engineer of decades of experience in various spheres, including gas. And given my training and my experience, including building various pipeline and gas systems across the world, been working on this with Mr. President for the past year. But that speaks to my experience and not just my academic pursuit.
Right. So what excites you most about this initiative, your current role, being that Nigeria is a PMS and diesel country, with kerosene and LPG, and we've never heard of CNG before now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing for me is the opportunity for Nigeria to leverage a resource that she has in abundance. Nigeria is a gas country that happens to have some oil. We have no business importing liquid petroleum that we not just subsidize, but we also depend on other people to produce significant quantity for us to be able to utilize. Nigeria has a lot of gas. We are the second largest waster of gas in the world, having just right after Russia, burning and discharging about $12.5 billion worth of gas in the last 5 years alone. So there's an immense opportunity for Nigeria to leverage a low-cost energy resource to power the country, not just transportation, but our domestic industries. Also in terms of our power, compressed natural gas is not just used for transportation, it's also utilized for power, which especially off-grid power as well as isolated power that is important to drive our industrialization. So I'm excited that Mr. President, through his vision, is trying to enable us to utilize something that we're wasting, something that could constitute an economic advantage for Nigeria in terms of low cost and in terms of cleanliness, in terms of safety, in terms of reliability. Natural gas ticks all those boxes, and Nigeria has a lot of it. So that's the reason why this is something that excites me. And I think that if we properly utilize and we safely handle it, then it's going to continue to something that is positive for Nigeria.
All right.
It's a clarion call on all of us to do the right things and not try to cut corners.
Okay. Now, talking about safety, you've said, it's safe and all that. Let's address the concerns of Nigerians regarding safety of CNG-powered vehicles following that incident in Edo State. And before then, I've seen 1 or 2 posts of people showing, okay, in some other countries in the world, the back of a vehicle blew off. There was an explosion because of CNG. Be careful of CNG and all. So let's talk about the Edo State incident, then general concerns about safety issues with CNG-powered vehicles. So what can you say? What have you found out from?
Again, I have to paraphrase this to say that the investigation is ongoing. We cannot, as government officials, we cannot sidestep regulators. The regulator of the environment where this took place is the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Regulatory Authority that oversees refueling centers, and there are specific procedures and steps that are expected to be taken. And in this particular instance, it's very clear to observers that this particular vehicle was wrongly modified and had no business taking in CNG. In fact, immediately the driver realized this had happened, immediately fled the scene, knowing that they had undertaken something illegal, and immediately the police authorities have jumped on this and have arrested not just the driver, but also the legal center where these conversions were done. Compressed natural gas should only be stored in approved storage tanks that are bulletproof and also explosion-proof, not for utilization of fake cylinders, or in this case, welded, locally fabricated manufactured cylinders. Absolutely a no-no when it comes to compressed natural gas, given the level of pressure that it is operating. However, we have to understand, first and foremost, that there's always, because people, of course, are trying to save money, given the relative massive price difference between petrol and CNG. There are bound to be unscrupulous elements. You are saving about 85% on fuel if you use CNG versus if you're using petrol. And so there are bound to be quacks who will attempt to circumvent not just the law, but the technical requirements for the utilization of CNG. And this is what we have found here. We've already instituted in place the Nigerian Gas Vehicle Monitoring System, which is already in its pilot phase and which is being extended across the country. We have to recall that Benin was the site of the original pilots that had gone on for the last almost 12 years, if not more, from 2012. So it has the largest fleet of CNG vehicles in Nigeria with no incident in the last 12 years. But of course, because there are more drivers there that know about it, and so they are more likely to be technicians and mechanics that claim they can circumvent the law in that immediate environment, is where, of course, naturally, we saw that this attempt. But we are fast on this attempt, and we are on the heel of ensuring that there's complete investigation and there are consequences. Because at the end of the day, even if there's watertight law and watertight regulation and guidelines, there will always be bad actors. What we want to make sure is that those bad actors are brought to the books. And we're working closely with the police authorities. Very late into yesterday night and early hours of this morning, I'm in communications with the Commissioner of Police, as well as the Deputy Commissioner Criminal Investigation Department of the Nigerian Police for Edo State. And we are already dealing with the criminality associated with this situation. And we're ensuring that there will be no such future occurrence in that immediate environment and even outside it, based on deterrence. Once we act swiftly and rapidly to ensure we bring anybody that attempted to put the lives of Nigerians or any Nigerian at risk because of the kind of illegal and economic sabotage activity that we.
Interesting. Mr. Oluwagbemi, you talked about illegal. I want to inform our listeners, you can call if you're listening right now, 0201-2770-993. And of course, you can also call a female listener, 0201-465-7190. You talked about legality here. So is there a law that prevents anyone in this country from, having a private alternative place where they can fabricate or get their vehicles converted to use CNG? Tell us about the law and what exactly are the illegalities, the boundaries beyond which people shouldn't go.
Yeah, no, so there's not just the general law, there are specific guidelines and laws around the handling of safe handling of hydrocarbons and modification of vehicles. Under the law, you can, in the Nigerian Automotive Design and Development Council law, only NADDC has a right to accredit and a right to direct an auto mechanic workshop to modify an existing OEM vehicle, which is what this was basically the person here was undertaking. Beyond violating the specific regulations around the handling of hydrocarbon and modification of vehicles in the case of NADDC Act, as well as the Establishment Act of NADDC and NMDPRA, which oversights the safe handling of hydrocarbon going into such auto vehicles. Of course, there's a actual criminal law that prevents you from undertaking acts that endangers the life of others, and acts that can cause bodily harm knowingly, fully knowing that. And of course, in the case of the law, ignorance is not an excuse. If you do and undertake any economic activity that threatens to cause bodily harm or almost cause it, you're liable under the law, potentially up onto manslaughter and attempted murder. So these laws are going to be brought to swiftly and down on these actors. The police, like I said, 2 persons, if not 3, I think, are already in police custody as at yesterday night. And this case has been transferred up to the State Criminal Investigation Department. And the DCCID is directly supervising this investigation and will ensure that any such persons that are found culpable, beyond and including those people already in the police net, will be brought to justice.
All right.
And the courts, of course, they will have their day in court.
Interesting.
They are still innocent until proven guilty. However, investigation is ongoing. And we'll make sure that anybody that attempts to sabotage the economy and destroy the confidence of Nigeria in this alternative fuel that promises to reduce the cost of fueling for all Nigerians,
all right,
and enhance and improve our economy, as envisioned by Mr. President, is brought to books.
All right.
And even beyond that.
Yeah, hold the thought. Yes.
To destroy the lives of other Nigerians.
Okay.
And endanger it.
All right.
It's also brought to books.
Okay. Thank you. I'll come back to that because you've talked about economic sabotage and all. But I want to put a listener who's on standby on the air. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Your name, location, and country.
I'm George Abba.
George, where are you listening from, please?
Calling from Owe.
Welcome. Go on listening to
now,
you.
please, I want to ask your guest. I think it is possible to connect both gas and petrol or diesel system in the same vehicle they operate concurrently.
Yes, it is. I think that.
You don't condemn the whole vehicle, you try to convert all to gas. Now, I know it is possible. I'm an orthodox auto mechanic. I'm elderly now.
Okay.
But I know it's possible to connect the vehicle, maybe both the gas tank in the boot for cars, then connect it straight to the induction manifold, drill a hole there, put a thermometer to preheat the gas before it gets to the combustion chamber, then the pressure regulating valve. So in Nigeria here, we're in tropical climate area.
All right.
What we do currently here, fill the tank to 2/3 of the tank because our area is hot. Allow 1/3 for gas expansion.
I see.
Then in foreign countries, maybe cold countries, can put maybe 3/4 full of the tank. Then while your gas, so if you are driving, there's a gauge or a control switch on your dashboard. If you are running on petrol, if the petrol or diesel gas finishes,
all right,
you switch over to neutral.
Okay. We don't have all the time. I think you're saying that vehicle should run both gas and
both
petrol.
gas and the same vehicle concurrently.
Thank you, sir. You're 73 years old, right?
Hello?
You're 73.
Age, that age.
Okay. All right. What's your name again, sir?
George Abba.
George Abba, thank you very much.
That's my phone number. You can call me for any information, any contact.
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I live at Moe, within camp. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, I think some of the guests we've had, like those app drivers, ride-hailing company drivers and all that, they came here and said they run both gas and petrol. Mr. Oluwagbemi, I would have given you a chance to respond to that, but I'm looking at my clock. We have to go and pay our bills, run commercials. So when we come back, I'll give you your time to respond to what the gentleman who is 73 years old has just said. All right, for those of you listening, please stay with us.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Give me Africa is all connected. With Turkish Airlines FlyFest, fly to Europe, to America, and to Istanbul at special prices. Book your ticket until December 15th for flights between September 15th and December 15th. For details, please visit TurkishAirlines.com. Turkish Airlines.
It's Customer Service Week, and here at Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, Kids FM, and Ariwa Radio, we want to appreciate our reputable clients for your constant and continuous patronage.
Flour Mills, Globacom, Cadbury, Unilever, Promasidor, International Breweries, PepsiCo Foods, PZ Cousins Limited, Sterling Bank, Pernod Ricard, Infinix, Bloom, House on the Rock, Owler Foods, Avon HMO, Leadway Assurance, InDrive, Bajaj, TGI Groups, Reliance HMO, ARM Pension, Hairs Insurance, SBC, Hypo Home Care Products, Reckitt, UAC CAP, 9PSB, TOEFL, Mobile, Eco Revenue Summit, Bigger Paint, and many others. We want to thank you for your patronage and assure you of our continuous outstanding service delivery as always, and also offer you more packages to serve you better.
You won't get drink to boost your health. Now Wellman drink. Wellman drink.
Are you ready to feel alive and strong? Look no further, because Wellman Drink from Vitabiotics UK has got you covered. Packed with vitamins and minerals, it is a healthy choice you won't regret. Make a healthy choice today with a very low-calorie drink that is free from caffeine, preservatives, and artificial color. Wellman Drink, the ultimate choice for men. Available in leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Trader, are you ready for the flight? Yeah. Maximize your gains day or night. The platform, HFM is the name. Trading with us is a brand new game. Come on, feel alone, execution slow. Switch to HFM, watch your success grow. Higher leverage, tighter spreads and swap free. Got your back in this financial fight. Trade forex, commodities, indices, shares and more. Just come and see HFM online trading. Withdrawals, deposit done in a dash. Our execution too fast. HFM stands apart from the rest. HFM stands apart from the rest.
Pico, HFM finito. HFM is it. HFM national platform. Online trading, forex trading, any trading. HFM no delay.
Join HFM today. Visit www.hfm.com or download the HFM app on Google Play or App Store. HFM, online trading at its finest.
Folake, where are you going? Won't you go to the cashier to settle your medical bills?
Bills? Cashier? My HMO already handles that.
You and these HMOs every time. Is it not the same HMOs we all know?
No, Reliance HMO is different. For example, I'm only here because I needed a physical examination. Other times, I chat with a doctor from the comfort of my home. I can even get a prescription delivered.
But they only cover you when you are ill.
That's not true. I had my facials done courtesy of my HMO. Even my workout sessions are covered by Reliance HMO.
How about hospitals?
Reliance HMO has a hospital roaming. Their relationship with providers makes it so easy to access care at any facility. Approvals take a short time.
They tell you what you're covered for?
With the Reliance Care app, I have all I need in my back pocket. I can connect with the rep in seconds.
How is that even possible?
This is Reliance HMO, the next generation health plan for businesses. Visit www.getreliancehealth.com or call 0201 700 1580.
Are you tired of using ordinary lubricants that fail to give your engine the power and protection it deserves? Introducing Shell Helix Lubricants, now available in Nigeria. No more frequent visits to the mechanic. No more funny noise coming from your engine. No more abnormal fuel consumption. You can now say goodbye to all that smoke from your car's exhaust.
Shell Helix Lubricants uses Pure Plus technology, a technology that protects your engine from dirt, gets rid of impurities, and improves engine performance. Need guaranteed engine protection? Use Shell Helix Lubricants. Now available at AP and NU service stations nationwide.
Hey! That time of the year don't reach again, oh! Blue Festival of Joy promo don't land gidigba! And we dey make them happen heavy with breakable prices! Hear them now! 5 tier over Toyota Prados! 5 check picantos. No be smart, you know. It go even heavy vaso. Sake of say 15 keke napep still there for win. Plus 150 generators, 200 sewing machines, and 300 grinding machines. Ah, you see the wait? Make yourself be one of the lucky winners in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Just dial *611 hash. Choose your prize and recharge now with Shinkly money. With small reach 1,000 naira, go reach 100,000 naira. Make you forget better chance to win ogbonge prizes from Glow. Promo go start from October 1 till end of January 2025. Glow Festival of Joy promo. Get carry go stamp by the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) and the National Lottery Regulatory Commission (NLRC). Terms and conditions there.
Unlimited.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Lagos, are you ready to be heard?
Yeah, good morning, Kofi Bartels. Hello, good morning, Kofi Bartels. Good morning, Mr. Kofi. Hello, Mr. Kofi Bartels. I'm morning good to all our callers and listeners.
It's your voice that drives the conversation on the Morning Crossfire.
Weekdays from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Your opinions, your stories, your take on the hot topics shaping our city and nation. We want to hear from you.
The president is aware that we have this security problem here. I don't know which area you stay in Lagos. There is no light again. No. These investors, I don't know hearing that there is no light in Nigeria. Whether somebody loots or somebody will not loot, a lot of things will happen. Why is Tinubu doing this to us?
Join Kofi Bartels for engaging debates, expert insights, and your voice at the heart of every discussion. Don't just listen, participate. Tune in and be part of the conversation. Only on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Live from the heart of Victoria Island, you're listening to your number one station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. This is Morning Crossfire on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back, Lagos. Welcome back, Nigeria. And of course, wherever you're listening to us from in the world, my name is Kofi Bartels. It's the Morning Crossfire right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We have Engineer Michael Oluwagbemi. He is the Program Director and Chief Executive, or the Chief Executive and Program Director of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, PCNGI. And he's here speaking on the CNG explosion, which took place in Edo State. It happened in Edo State, which has gone viral on social media. Please call 0201-277-0993, 0201-277-0993. And, of course, you can also call, if you're a female listener, find it difficult to get through to us using our main line. You can call the alternative number for female listeners, 0201-465-7190. 0201-465-7190. And on Facebook, we're streaming live. Go to facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM, or you can search for Nigeria space info space 99.3 on Facebook, Nigeria space info space 99.3 on Facebook, and you'll see our page right there. Also on YouTube, we're streaming live. Go to Nigeria Info FM on YouTube. It's a verified account, and then you can also watch us live from anywhere in the world. Now, don't forget, OnePlay is giving out 50,000 naira to one lucky player. All you need to do is to go to the website www.oneplay.ng. That's www.oneplay.ng. All right, and you choose the box that has a Nigerian for logo and click that to play for 50,000 naira to one lucky player. All right. Alternatively, you can dial *347 *880 hash from your device, your phone. *347 *880 hash. All right. Now let's get back to our conversation. Of course, you can send WhatsApp messages on 080-9597-5805. 080-9597-5805. Engineer, let's get back to the caller before we went on the break, who was asking about using CNG alongside petrol. I mean, on hybrid basis. Talk to us about that, please.
Yeah, so thank you very much, and thanks to your listeners once again this morning. The utilization, of course, once you undertake CNG conversion, what you end up having is the dual fuel systems. You have the petrol and the CNG, and that's what even this particular vehicle in question was attempting to do that. Difference was that they undertook that modification in an unauthorized workshop. So your listeners must understand that you only have your vehicle modified in an NADDC certified, accredited, authorized conversion center. And this information can be found on both the NADDC website as well as the PCNGI's website and social media handles. This is a list of certified and accredited workshops in Nigeria today that can safely have your vehicle modified to be running on biofuel and do so reliably, cheaper, safer. It's something that is only available on these authorized platforms. So yes, it can be done, and it's not a question of temperature. Reality is that for any kind of ignition to happen in your CNG vehicle, you're talking about not of 500 degrees centigrade. There's no human habitable place that is as hot as that. The CNG technology is very popular, in fact, more popular in Iran and in India. These are very hot places, much relatively hotter than Nigeria. So there's no problem as far as the temperature is concerned. Nigeria is safe and suitable for the utilization of compressed natural vehicles.
I did see a post somewhere where they talked about an explosion in some part of Asia. I don't know if it's the Middle East or Southeast Asia or one of those parts of the world where, they said that it was heat. Heat is what caused an explosion. So you're saying that heat may not necessarily lead to the explosion of a CNG-powered vehicle? No, so
heat is not the same thing as temperature. Again, maybe it's the engineer in me. Heat is not the same thing as temperature. The rise in the temperature of your engine, of course, whether it is petrol, diesel, kerosene, or anything, is what eventually leads to any kind of. You need ignition. You need the fuel source, and you need oxygen for you to have any kind of ignition. So you do not. For you to have any kind of explosion, you must have a source of light. You must have the energy source itself, that's the combustible fuel, and then you need oxygen. These three things are required for you to have any kind of spark or any kind of explosion or any kind of ignition. However, when you're talking about heat in terms of ambient temperature, which is what the normal temperature of the environment, Nigeria does not rise above 45 degrees, but you require self-ignition temperature for this kind of explosion to occur is north of 500 degrees centigrade. And to be fair, everybody finds a rare incident or the around the world. The reality is that if you're already using petrol, you're already using a much more explosive and much more dangerous form of fuel. And that's what we're trying to tell people. I mean, and you don't have to take my word for it. Just Google petrol tanker or petrol explosion in Nigeria in the last 2 weeks, and you easily will find incidents, not one, not two, not three, easily 4 or 5 that have killed north of 250 people. You don't say because of that you're not going to enter a petrol vehicle. Petrol vehicles explode all the time. In fact, you have a 9 to 10 chance when you enter a serious petrol accident to be involved in fire or explosion. We don't stop using petrol vehicles because of that. Rather, we isolate the situation. We identify the specific reasons why that petrol vehicle exploded, whether it's a tanker, whether it's a vehicle, and then we ensure that in our own behavior, when we are handling petrol, which is much more explosive and much more dangerous and less intrinsic safe than natural gas, we adjust that behavior. And that's what we have to do in this instance. CNG explosion or cases like the one we have in Edo State are almost always because of illegal activity, fake cylinders, bad installation, and unscrupulous activities of people that are trying to cheat the system. And that is what we had in Edo State.
Okay, so you're saying that if as long as everything is okay with the cylinder and the installation, yes, that just parking under the sun will not affect, will not cause an explosion.
No.
Okay,
no, you have no issue.
It could be argued that the reason why some of these incidents happen or people do not go through the legal route, like you said. And some things you say, I'm hearing for the first time, this automotive agency, which we'll have to talk about again. And the reason why some do not go through that route could be because of the cost of converting your petrol car to CNG. Some of those in Lagos here, some of the app taxi union members tell us they spend millions to convert. So that could be something that would discourage anyone who wants to go do it the normal way. What can you say to that?
The cost is never a reason to break the law and to endanger your life and the life of other people around us. When you are dealing with hydrocarbon or you are dealing with anything that even has hydro in it, like I said, water, let's start with water. You want to be careful. You simply do not want to endanger your own life. What's the cost of your life, right? And that's what we're seeing here. You cannot play around with physics and chemistry. I mean, the universal laws of physics and chemistry will happen whether you obey the law or you disobey the law. I mean, these are the interesting thing about the laws of science. And the laws of hydrocarbon says you must handle them safely in order to utilize them safely for your own benefit. So there's the cost of compliance. If you decide to disobey it, it's your life. And is the risk of limb and life of not just yourself, but of your neighbors, of your fellow citizens. And that's why there's a law that regulates the hydrocarbon industry. And when you violate that law, then you tend to go into the criminal industry. And so, yes, a criminal can say, I'm stealing because I don't have money. The law does not recognize that. It recognizes that you're a criminal. So in this particular state, when you disobey the laws of the hydrocarbon industry, when you disobey the laws of the guiding, the utilization of hydrocarbon, and you endanger the life of your fellow citizens, you will be treated as a criminal. Right. So please do not patronize fake quacks and non-accredited centers because you will be breaking the law. All right. And in an extension of that thought is to say that the federal government have already put in place programs to ensure that taxi drivers, Uber drivers, rideshare drivers are obtaining this conversion for free. So if you're a Uber driver, you're a commercial driver, you can get this conversion done for free or at every discount. In the case of members of the private sector, people like you and I that have our own vehicles, we rolled out a program just 2 days ago with Credit Corp that can also allow us to finance our home conversion. So please, there are already financial solutions. There's already a giveaway, a palliative that is in place by the federal government of Nigeria to encourage you to get this thing almost done for next to nothing if you're in the commercial sector. And you need to ensure that you have access to cheaper cost of fuel. You have no reason to cut corners. You have no reason to try to endanger your own life, to endanger the life of your fellow citizens. Right. We continue to see bad actors, even in the petrol sector. We saw 162 people killed in Jigawa just 3 days ago. That's on Monday, because of bad actors in the petrol sector, in the case of the liquid petroleum sector. We're thankful that in the case of Benin City in Edo State, there was no lives lost, but we must know that we have to insist as people that we do the right thing all the time, regardless.
Michael, interesting, because the app riders or app taxis, the union, some of their members tell me that the government promised to roll out a program for them to convert their vehicles for free, like you just said, or at a huge discount, and that nothing has happened to that effect. And what can you speak to that? Yeah,
something is not a lot of drivers and Uber drivers in cities across Nigeria are converting. I actually witnessed a few of them getting converted in Abuja last week.
Okay, so in Lagos,
what we have found out is that we have a bunch of private individuals masquerading as rideshare drivers, and we have put in place a process of verification. You must go through that verification process. We want to make sure that the largesse and palliative for the federal government of Nigeria goes to the right people. Again, we are people sometimes that do not want to do the right things.
Okay.
But we want to make sure this gets to the people.
So for those in Lagos, what do they need to do? If you're an Uber driver, boat driver, in driver, any of ride hailing app driver, what do you need to do to take advantage of this? Or a taxi driver in Lagos?
If you're a taxi driver, you basically go to any of the convention center and go with your number one. Either your vehicle must be registered commercially, that means with the red plate number. That means you've been paying your taxes and doing the right things as far as being a commercial driver. If you don't I've not been doing those things. And you're laughing because, a lot of people don't do the right things.
Oh, my God.
If you've not been doing those things, then you have to go through your union. Okay. And the union also must have been collecting dues from you, which means you've been inevitably been paying taxes to the government of your local government and your state to ensure that you have this kind of palliative flow to you in the future.
Okay.
And they will provide you all the registration documents. You will be requested of that at the conversion center. If you're a ride share, you can go to our website, www.pci.gov.ng/conversions/vehicles and register your vehicle and then go through the process of verification of voucher. And that is how we now provide you a voucher to then go to the next center for inspection. Again, there has to be process. I know sometimes we're people that are not used to norms and processes, but we must start incorporating the culture of processes. And these processes are only to ensure your safety, also to ensure that the federal government of Nigeria is not exposed to an unlimited financial obligation, which, of course, imperils our financial.
Okay, interesting. So in Lagos, how many convention centers exist? Can you able to give me that number off the top of your head?
No, it's not. It's being added every day. This is probably the most popular business in Nigeria today.
Okay.
As at last week, we've added 77 centers. As at last Friday, I believe just in the last 2 to 3 days, we've added another 13. We're up to about 90 centers nationwide.
Okay. All right. So they just need to go to your website.
To have 1,000, but more and more are being added every day. You can go to our website for
all right. All right. Fantastic. We go back to the phone lines. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Very quickly. We don't have time. 30 seconds.
Kofi, this is Godwin calling from
straight to the point, Godwin. 30 seconds.
Yes. From the CV of your guest and the much you have heard from him, it is interesting that he has much too. But my worry and concern is this. Since the advent of this CNG as announced by the president and the subsidy which has brought calamity to this nation, I was expecting, why is it so difficult that to see that CNG motor all over the land, especially in Lagos metropolis, where we are suffering from transportation fare as a result
thank you. We know why you're suffering. So he wants to know why we've not seen CNG vehicles, all the buses the president promised all over the streets of Lagos. We have another call coming through. Godwin, thank you. I had to let you go because of time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Straight to the Kofi. Yes, your name, location, come straight to the point. 30 seconds.
Mr. Ben from Badagry.
Yeah.
My car I bought, it was already converted from where I bought it, with CNG gas. And when I was coming with it, the petrol was not moving. Only to discover that when the CNG gas finishes, the petrol now started going down. So it was automatic. But the problem we are having here is, from my tooth to Badagry, there's no filling station on CNG. So what is the government really doing?
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much. So let us take your reply or response to the two questions. The first one talking about not seeing CNG buses around Lagos like it was expected. Number two, the death in of CNG filling stations in Lagos. Over to you, Mr. Oluwagbemi.
Yes, you have to appreciate first and foremost. I hope your listener who made that comment talked about terrible subsidies. I know he's talking about the subsidy itself being terrible, not the removal, because the subsidy was costing Nigeria jobs. It was costing Nigeria
but let's not go there.
Billions
let's not go there. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we are hoping as we are doing this transition is that we are providing Nigerians with an alternative that powers the economy for cheap. But that does not happen overnight. We have to understand that to build a CNG bus, for example, an average CNG bus takes you anything upwards to 10 to 15 days. And then to roll out buses to replace a fleet of almost 500,000 commercial vehicles of that type of size in Nigeria will take, decades, if not years. But what we are doing is that we've started, and we're also ensuring that we are prioritizing local production of those buses. And we've begun to roll out those buses, and they are beginning to hit the streets.
All right. So
we started this program less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And we're already pushing the whole conversation around conversion.
All right.
It's not just about the buses. It's about even converting your existing vehicles. That's easier to do.
Okay.
You can do 2-3 conversions a day at the convention center, and that's what we're doing. But the point is, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with the first one. We appreciate your interest. We're working day and night, ensuring we are putting in place not just the regulations, the centers, the refueling as the case may be, and also ensuring that we are inviting investors. Government is not going to be the one
Yeah.
to do all of this.
Let's go to the second question on the number of CNG fueling or refueling centers. He hasn't seen anyone, in the stretch of Lagos.
Oh no, there's a lot in Lagos already. In the country, we had just this time last year we had about 19 refueling stations. Today we have 50 of them. Already, the NMDPRA had indicated that almost about 72 of them are in development that I speak to. And NPC itself is setting up 6 of them, additional 6 in Lagos. Equipment were ordered for additional 40. NIPO, in this instance, also have another 22 in construction as we speak. So all over Nigeria, between NIPO, NNPC, BOVAS, Matrix, MRS, all these different entities are developing at least 72 of them as I speak to you that will be open. Are we up and running by at least the first quarter, the second quarter of next year?
Interesting.
But it is an investor's landscape. The opportunity is there. It's clear that Nigerians are converting to CNG, and that's what we want to continue to encourage. And because of the president's program of moving about 1 million vehicles, commercial vehicles, to CNG, investors are seeing the opportunities and they're also investing.
Interesting.
You see more of these around.
We will have you back to talk about the program generally. But to end, can you give us, maybe in a minute, what those who are looking at this sector to have cars that run on CNG need to do to ensure that they are safe? Just in a minute, please.
The most important thing is comply with the rules. Don't try to cut corners. Patronize only accredited conversion workshops. Ensure that your vehicles utilize Standard Organization of Nigerian certified equipment parts, kits and cylinders. Ensure that it is being worked upon by NEDDC certified technician in an NEDDC conversion workshop, accredited conversion workshop. Ensure to refuel at an NMDPRA accredited refueling station. And please obey the law. That is the most important thing. Once there's a safe handling of any hydrocarbon, then there's safety in that kind of regime. So the most important thing to your listeners is be safe. Do not try to cut corners. Obey the law. When you cut corners, you are not just endangering yourself and endangering the society. You are also breaking the law. And I can promise you that, Mr. President, our committee, the system of government, especially the police and the judiciary, will come after you. We will make sure that anybody that breaks the law faces the full tone of justice, because we don't want anybody to sabotage the economy. We don't want anybody to sabotage the law. Okay,
I wish we had more time, but we have to leave it at that. I want to thank you very much. We'll come back. We'll have you back soon, to talk about the general program and initiative. It's a good one. And I think maybe also we need to continue this public enlightenment, even increase the tone, public enlightenment for people to know what they need to do. Engineer Michael Oluwagbemi, Program Director and Chief Executive of the Presidential Compressed National Natural Gas Initiative. Thank you very much for your time this morning, sir.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, and thanks to your listeners.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right. Your friends in Lagos, I should greet you.
All of them. That's
right.
my constituency.
All right, fantastic. Okay. And that's the size of our package right here on the Morning Crossfire. We had to quickly do this because of what happened yesterday. Someone sent me the video. I looked at it and I saw, the reply of PCNG, and we had to say, hey, guys, please, can you just quickly come and address this matter because lives are involved in our stake. My name is Kofi Bartels. Don't worry, I'll run the draw on the other side for the one-plated NG. Have a great weekend.
More conversation, more talk, more right after this.
Power Oil. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's